Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of our video. Starting off removing the handlebar assembly. So the front screw I have removed. You can see the handlebar is loose. Now I am trying to remove the big screw, big bolt which actually brings out the handlebar assembly altogether. Again there is some rust and I don't see any traces of grease. Now I'll just remove the top cap. Just need to ensure we hold on to the bottom part. So again there is a threaded cap here. We just need to rotate it. It was a bit stuck because again the fork is rusted, but seems to be out of rust again, so not a major concern. You can see the ball bearings completely dried up there. So we have removed the top cap. Now the fork slides right out. You can see the rust and absolutely no drop of grease there, so it needs a good service. To start off with the upper crown, we'll just give it a bit of sandpaper because I saw some bit of rust. Same goes for the bottom crown as well. Just give a dab of degreaser just to remove the rest of the rust and give it a good wipe to dry it out. Now these were the parts from the handlebar assembly and the fork. So we'll just give them a quick degreaser and a brush to clean off any of those surface rust or any old packed and dried up grease if any are there. So we just need to be patient here because, as I said in my part 1, these are the things we'll probably service again every 5 years, so probably best to give it a thorough cleanup. We'll do this for each of the parts we removed. It's better to wear gloves because this degreaser is a bit strong, can irritate your skin. Give it a good wipe. We can see already that the shine is coming back on these parts. Even the bolt, just to ensure there's no surface rust or any oils. Now we'll again grease the ball bearings and even put some grease on the upper crown and the bottom crown assembly so that it ensures that the ball bearings rotate smoothly on these crowns. Just put a dab of grease, and even the fork I have cleaned. You can see I have greased the fork threading as well. So just put it, slide it back and just tighten the screw which holds the fork. Just need to ensure we don't tighten it too much, otherwise the fork can feel rigid while moving. So this is the assembly for the handlebar. So the more you tighten, the screw actually tries to move up and locks itself. So these are usually found in old type of bicycles, so you just need to tighten it from the top and it stays there. So just give it a good tight. Now even the handlebar height you can adjust, so we'll just keep it straight for now and see how the kid wants it at a later time. So give it a good tight. So coming to the rest of the front part, we have the brake assembly. So we'll just give them a good clean up with the degreaser and a brush. just to ensure all the surface rust comes out. I'm just trying to remove this old cable which is cut off already, so this needs to be replaced. We'll check to see if there are any spares, but we'll clean them anyway, just to ensure if we do get the cable we can replace it at the end. So seems like all the rust came off, but still want to remove these brake shoes and ensure it's clean, the screws, the nuts and the bolts and the washers are cleaned as well. There you go. Now on the other side, the brake shoe itself seems okay, the rubber, but there is some surface rust on some of the parts, on the metal parts, so just give it a good cleanup. Now coming to the rear side, we'll just try to remove the back carrier and do a cleanup. Just need to ensure you hold on to the bike because the seat can drop off. This is the same screw to loosen the seat post as well, so just need to be careful while doing this. So it came off easily. I'll just tighten it back so that the seat post doesn't drop. Now coming to the rear brakes, again you can see some surface rust over there, so I just try to remove it and give them a good cleanup as well. So some dab of degreaser and a brush can bring these back to life. No major damage I saw. I just tried to clean up the rear wheel notches as well. Give it a good clean for the rusty parts. The brake shoe itself, the rubber seems fine again on the rear. However, only once we do the final assembly and do a test, we'll know how good they are. Just give it a bit of tight. Spring seems fine. Now coming to the bottom bracket area, first to remove the bottom bracket and service, we need to remove the pedals. Just need to take care of the threading here. One side of the pedal is usually reverse threaded, so just need to ensure you take care while removing the pedals. It is pretty much standard in all the bikes. The pedal is out, so what we need to do is, again it's anti-clockwise. We need to remove the first screw which holds on to the tightness of the bottom bracket. So now I'm just turning it clockwise to expose the ball bearing assembly of the bottom bracket. Usually all the latest bikes have the cartridge bearings here, but these old ones seem to have the ball bearing style still. So again, yeah, you can see there is absolutely no grease, anything there, even though it was running smooth, or at least it seemed smooth when we got it. Now we'll just remove the chain cover and we'll slowly slide off the whole assembly just to reveal the other side of the bottom bracket, the other ball bearings. Now this is the important part here when removing the chain, especially on your older bikes. Just need to ensure you push out one of those pins, not fully but just enough so that the chain releases itself. If you push it fully, you would need to buy another pin, a new pin to assemble this, so just be careful here. So you can see the pin hanging there. Now I took out the chain, the bottom bracket assembly, put it in some degreaser, Now I'm just cleaning out the bottom bracket part. We'll put some grease now and get this ready before we reassemble it back. Now I'm putting on the grease. Put on a generous amount here because it's probably not gonna get opened again for a very long time. So I'm putting generous amount of grease here. Now starting off with cleaning off the ball bearing assembly for the bottom bracket. There isn't much surface rust here, so just giving it a good clean anyway. Give it a good clean, good, make it dry. Then we can probably grease it and put it back. Even the outer screw which holds the ball bearings will give this assembly cleanup as well. Now coming to the chain crank part, so we'll just clean up this part as well. You can see the inners are actually pretty clean, or at least pretty shiny once you clean up, so there is no rust anywhere here, so that's a good sign. So this probably makes me feel that it was left outside somewhere and just the rain was reaching the front wheel which caused it to rust. So we'll again grease the bottom bracket ball bearings. We'll just put it back. Just grease the other side as well. It's the same procedure, just need to be patient and do it correctly. Just do a double check before we put it back, which side goes in. Just give a bit of grease to the tensioner as well. So we put back this tensioner threading screw. So you just need to ensure you don't tighten this too much, otherwise the crank may feel a bit tight while riding. So just needs to be enough tight so that it rotates smoothly. Looks good. We'll adjust once we put on this top screw which holds the tensioner in its position. Again, so that's the reason we had to remove the pedal, otherwise we could not remove the bottom bracket here. This is old style how it used to come. Just give it a quick tight and just double check again to see if everything is fine. It's running smoothly. If you want to loosen it, we can loosen it a bit. Now coming to the pedals, just need to ensure you put some grease to the threading so that when you are removing it at a later point it comes off easily. Even the pedal threading will give them a good degrease, clean up, dry and grease again so that it goes in smooth, and on the next service it comes out smooth as well and there wouldn't be any water ingress. And just ensure the marking on the pedal L and R will be marked, so put them accordingly. So now I'm putting on the L left side. Just need to ensure there is correct threading when you put it in. So just tighten it properly, not too tight as well, just enough, just a hand tight would do here. Just clean up a good wipe at the end. Coming to the other side, put in a bit of grease again on the inner threads. Put the second pedal as well on the right side, marked with R. It's pretty much standard on the pedals. You'll see the marking or any kind of symbol will be there. Now just testing it out, all seems fine. Now coming to the chain, We'll give them a good cleanup. You can already see all the dirt and grime getting collected on the bottom there. Give them a good cleanup. I don't see any surface rusts on this or any kind of damage to the chain. So these seem pretty good. Just needs a bit of cleanup. So you can see all the dirt and grime falling down now. So we'll just give it a good wipe. Probably wash it again, dry it again, and it should be good to go. Give it a good clean. Now coming to the tire and tubes, I noticed that the rear tube had got a puncture. So I didn't have a spare tube, so I'm just trying to fix this puncture using a older tube I have. I'm just cutting it to size. It is actually a big hole, so ideally recommended to replace the tube, but I don't have one handy for this 14-inch bike. I only have starting from 16 or 20 inches. So yeah, so I'll just apply this and keep it for a while, and once it dries I'll start the tire installation and the wheel build. So here we have the rear wheel. Just ensure the arrow is pointing correctly when you install the tires. Even though this is such a small tire and an old one, it did give me a bit of trouble to put it back on, compared to at least the latest bikes or the road bikes what we have. Seemed a bit hard, but I think once it went on one side, it went smooth the other way. So yeah, all seemed good. I'm just trying to push it to the one side so that there is enough leverage for me when I try to put it on. Now the one side is on. I'll just put the tube which we fixed. We'll just put it back. Just ensure you put the tube first. The wall should stick out, so just ensure that the wall comes out first and then insert the rest of the tube. Now I'm just trying to put the tire back on the other side as well. Just tighten it and just ensure the valve is coming out properly. Just ensure no tube is stuck between them. Give them a good squeeze so that there is enough leverage again to put back the tires. So yeah, it went fine. It took a while, but it went fine. Just pumped the airs and did the same for both the wheels, and all was good. So as you can see, both the tires are on. All seemed good. Now I just put back the front tire just to see if all is good. All seems well so far. So yeah, wait for part 3 where we continue the assembly. Like, share and subscribe. Cheers.